Hello, and welcome to Godox Film Lighting 101. Today, we'll be lighting using mirrors and gobos. Let's check it out. As a filmmaker, it happens more than I'll ever admit. But how many times have you shown up at a film location, sight unseen, and the location is, well, boring? Luckily, there are some lighting tools we can experiment with to give any location some character of its own. In this episode, we're going to transform this boring location into something with a little more life. So here's what the location looked like with the house lights on when I started out. Pretty dull. Everything from the floor, to the walls, to the bookshelf were all the same color. This place definitely needed some definition. I found a lamp that I thought would be nice to use as a practical source. So that's the first thing that I placed. I then built the lighting around this source. From here, I wanted to add some shape to the bookshelf in the background. I took a Godox SZ150R and angled it from the direction I wanted my motivated light to come from. Space was very limited at this location, so I used the Godox projection attachment with the 85mm lens and a Gobo. This was a perfect solution for adding some extra detail to the scene in such a confined area. The projection attachment connects to the Bowen's mount on your light, creating a spotlight. So for this setup, I wanted to use the Godox lens projection attachment. It's this long setup, it's an 85mm lens, and it allows me to zero in the focus and basically control how sharp and how soft the image is, but also control how large and how small it is. You can sculpt the light with framing shutters, scrims, and gobos. Godox has several different sets of gobos to choose from. These gobos cut the light in various shapes and patterns, creating a nice lighting effect. For this shoot, I used a gobo that I thought helped mimic shadows that flowers and trees would cast across the background. So the Godox gobo creates a really cool effect, such as this one across the back wall here. This light was set to daylight balance of 5600K and 100% power. From here, I added a Godox UL150 as my key light. I clamped a frosted gel over the front to help soften the light a bit. I then set up a Godox 5-in-1 reflector directly in front of the UL150. The white screen helps diffuse the bright light while also casting motivated ambient light across the side of the room and subject, similar to how a window would. The diffusion it creates also helps soften the light for better skin tones on the subject. This light was set to 54% power. So one way to create realism in your setups is to actually use mirrors on set. So right here I have a Godox ML60, I'm bouncing light off the mirror onto the table, and it's creating a cool scattered light effect, kind of similar to the sun through a window. This helps add reflections and realistic motivated textures throughout the scene. Using mirrors can also help draw interest to a particular object or area. Depending on your setup, you could even direct a light to multiple mirrors for even more randomized reflections of scattered light throughout the room. For this setup, I used a plastic mirror that I clamped to a stand. I used black gaff tape to create pinstripes on the mirror. This helps break up the light reflections a little more. The Godox ML60 was set to 80% power. For the final touch, I added a Godox TL60 as the subject's hair light. The idea here was to boost the illumination coming from the lamp in the background. The TL60 is extremely lightweight and easy to place anywhere. It also has full RGB color, so I was able to dial in the exact setting to match the color temperature of the lamp. I set this light to a hue of 36 degrees, saturation to 77, and power to 19%. And there you have it. Using gobos and mirrors is a great way to add some character to any scene. Godox offers a one-stop solution for all your filmmaking needs. From lights, to monitors, to audio, to stands, to grip and staging essentials. They've definitely thought of everything. Also, be sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials. Thank you so much for tuning into Godox Film Lighting 101. We'll see you next time.